You are playing the Stanley Parable 3 Beyond Pirates. I can do the epilogue again. Alright, if we begin the game again. Now skip the intro. Balloons are still there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah, here we go. We can go to the new content. I'm bringing the bucket to new content.
Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes. Oh, new content? What does that mean? New content.
Alright, we're gonna go back to the Expo Center because I've heard that the machine is working now.
Wait, Stanley. I've just now realized that bucket you're holding. It's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
Yeah, so he's gonna comment on that.
Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel? I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
I still don't have any jumps remaining.
Alright, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Still don't have any jumps remaining.
The infinite hole, the giant door. Did you see them already? Stanley, none of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
Not really. Well, actually, yes. I mean, anyway you slice it, it was a sequel.
If you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly.
Yes.
You carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it. I win. I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable. Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win.
Alright, and now we go there again.
All of his co-workers will try out some of the new features.
Alright, well, let's just head off to the achievements machine straight away.
You'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
There we go.
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement?
Yeah.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched?
Yeah, apparently yes.
Oh, God. Composure. Composure.
I think you need a bucket right now.
As you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
Oh, that would be kind of crazy, though.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
That would really be crazy if that other guy or whatever it is that was helping me to fix that machine, if we actually sort of fight it or whatever, or we sort of realize that maybe that is the guy with ill intent or something in the end. That would be really cool. That would be a sequel.
Is it another person's opinion? It makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well, someday it is.
Yeah, that's the one that I wanted originally, but when I selected it, of course, he said, "Happy 12th birthday, Stepney." So now, aha, I tricked you, narrator, because that's the one that I wanted all along. Yeah. I don't know why this is here, that noise. Just there, nowhere else.
In the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have
I've heard one that says Stanley.
To really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the background. If you don't properly roleplay this, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Jim. All right, fine. Whatever. It's a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here.
Get out of here!
Humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on. See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Oh, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away. Jim.
Yeah, I haven't set up your backstory yet. You can't properly roleplay as Jim without a backstory. Right, what happens when I go to the reassurance bucket now that I already have a bucket?
I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
What happens when I have 2 buckets? Oh, there isn't. Oh no, there is. Oh.
Wait, there are 2 buckets here?
Yeah.
How did you get a second bucket?
Oh,
Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me? Stanley!
No!
Thank God, I didn't lose you.
I lost both buckets.
The power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them.
You had
How
to?
much the bucket meant to you.
No!
I hope one day you can forgive me.
I don't know if I can, narrator. I don't know if I can. You literally just killed both the bucket that I was holding and the bucket that I was about to pick up. I don't know if I can ever trust you anymore. That is low, even for you, narrator.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is...
Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2.
by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
No, you are.
Things got
Don't advertise it as infinite when it isn't infinite.
mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us
2
and agree
PM.
to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
Not normal.
Person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no. You have a weird sort of...
It's smaller.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It
I couldn't
it
help
is.
but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Yeah, it's shorter now.
I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you, and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
I haven't.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Yeah, it's way shorter.
Okay, yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep.
You can't even call it deep.
Lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Very aggressive divot, yes. That's one hell of a golf player that's moved this. Wow. But what did he say? Like, my failings coming to haunt me or whatever? Like, it's like, ha! I'm not infinite, and he came all the way up to the surface to tell him that in his face.
How is this still appealing? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh,
No, it doesn't.
who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move.
Yeah, I can't jump, so I have to teleport. Oh, doesn't work.
Is the teleport button not working?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Oh, hey!
I couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever ask for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Hey, asshole, come back here! Don't leave me like this! He literally just left me. Yeah. I wish it... Hello? I hope it's not those monsters I heard when I was pressing the skip button that are outside. It would be awesome if I could jump, but if I had any jumps left... Oh, what the hell? Yes, take me back to infinity. Or were you just annoyed with the narrator, and now that we're alone, the hole is like, yeah, now I'm going to truly become an infinite hole. Press F to change your perspective. Whoa! Third person, baby! Whoa! Are you sure you didn't implement these features, narrator? Press D to change your perspective. Oh, perception. What the fuck? Whoa! Yes, upside down Stanley. Yes, weird character Stanley. Yeah, clay figure buff Stanley. Yeah, handsome Stanley. Oh, Easter Island. Yeah, cartoon Stanley. Abstract drawing Stanley. Slightly colored Stanley. And normal Stanley. Android computer is Stanley.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
Whoa.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
Oh.
Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
You can't even call it a hole at this point.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Toodlepip. I never heard Toodlepip before. Yes. Yes. Come back. I want to press all the button. Oh. Ah. Oh, hey. I'm back at the Expo Center
Here
now.
we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
But that says gym? Or are you gonna... Oh, I'm not allowed back in there. That's why. Okay. But I'm not allowed, because I'm also not allowed to go here. The narrator doesn't even say anything about that. But yeah, let's do the settings champion. That's the only other thing I have left doing here. Because everything else is either I've already done it already or it doesn't do anything. Hey, there we go. Well, I got the achievement, but I'm not in here. Oh, as you can see, I've got the achievement, but I'm still not allowed in here. Maybe... Oh, whoa, hey. What the hell?
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done.
Oh, actually, yeah, I know what that is. That is this.
You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu.
Nice.
I'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, there it is, bumpscosity. Adjusts the bumpscosity. Oh, you have to put it to 1,000. Don't know what it means, but yeah, for old school memes. Nice. They will never set the setting sliders to every possible setting. You are the champion of setting all sliders to all the possible numbers. Please enjoy this room. This is your room. It was made just for you. Great job, you did it. Yay. Congratulations, Settings World Champion. It looks a bit like the employee lounge. Okay, nice. So we've experienced that. Alright, so, yeah, I think that is it for the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I have pretty much done everything that I could. I read somewhere that apparently the cheats menu doesn't work because it's a different port. Because it isn't a source game anymore, it's a Unity game. And SV cheats, which is the cheat code used to get into the serious ending where the narrator scolds you for cheating, won't work because I enabled the console, but I'm pressing the I don't know what that button's called. The button next to the 1 on your keyboard underneath escape above tab, which normally would open the console, but of course it doesn't work. So yeah, that doesn't work anymore. So I guess that ending doesn't work. I guess that's why the serious room was in the memory zone. But yeah, that's it. I have done every single... Well, no, that's not true. The only ending I haven't done is playing the baby game for 4 hours. But I'm not doing that. Somebody else can reach divine art or whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm done here with the Stanley Parable. I've done every single ending with and without the buckets, which what I could achieve. Yeah, I've done the freedom ending, explosion ending, museum ending, bottom of the mind control facility ending, up and down ending. All of them with and without the buckets. I did the confusion ending. I did the yeah, I did the confusion ending, did the apartment ending, the choices ending, the red and blue door, did the blue door and the red door, the game's ending, and the resending, the leap off the platform and kill yourself ending, the vent ending. I guess that would be the vending. And all with the buckets and without the buckets. Cold feet ending, the reluctance ending. Yeah, that's it. I don't think there is anything else in the game anymore. I think that is everything that there is. Yeah, I think that's it. So that means I'm done here. That's the end of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Unless there is some new content to be discovered by people. I'm pretty sure people are going to be running around this game all over again, as they've done in 2013, to find every single last secret to see if there's anything somewhere to find. Maybe another ending that we at this point in time don't know about. Who knows? Maybe there are some new things. But yeah, that I think for now, at least for me, that is the end of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Yeah, okay, so final thoughts. I still love the game. It's fantastic. It's hilarious. The sort of war between the player and the narrator is incredibly cleverly done. The concept of the entire concept that the Stanley Parable was built upon, but it's still a clever thing. You know, the storyteller that wants to tell a story but doesn't really keep in mind that you are a human being capable of making your own choices, and you know, it's not like he's not the voiceover of something that is of a documentary or whatever that has already been made, or a movie that's already been made, and he's just doing the voiceover. It's a game that's being played by somebody, and as a result, you have the power to listen to him or cooperate with him, or do what he says but not because he says it, but because you want to do it, and then decide to stop listening to him at some point. And the interaction that comes from that, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. As far as the new content, I do really like the fourth wall breaking sort of self-awareness of it, that they are also talking about the new content themselves, and you know, like how the narrator thinks it's underwhelming, and he tries to get above and beyond to make an awesome sequel, and he tries to create very weird things, and you know, and then the rest of the game spirals from there because you know the sequel content is here. Some points of critique though. Oh no! I'm not done. I'm not done with praising yet. I do really love the clever way to end more endings. Just adding that buckets, that you could do every ending, but then with the buckets to get something completely different. That's a very clever way of making more endings without making a ton of extra work for yourself. So that's pretty clever. Also, I really love the skip button. That is still like one of the things that has kept with me for the most part. I feel like that skip button. And the fact that you just skip time for billions and trillions of years until the entire Earth had just absolutely disintegrated into just a humongous desert of nothingness. And of course the weird shit that happened, like the roof broke and then suddenly there were plants and all of a sudden the plants were down and like nothing of that remained, and it was pitch black outside and you heard monsters screaming outside and like, what the fuck is going on out there? But you can't investigate because you're just stuck there. The only forced to press skip again and again and again until the entire room just kind of like broke. I think that is the thing that will stick with me the most of the sequel. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was... I kind of sort of could expect that what was going to happen, but it was still nice the way it played out. Still done very well. It was funny. It was scary at the same time. It was awesome. As I said, like the self-awareness of the Expo Center, it was done very nicely. And then all the endings were the same. A couple new endings here and there, with the bottom of the bottom of the Microsoft facility ending, and the up and down ending, and of course the bucket versions of those as well. The vent is also new, and of course, like I said, the cleverness of just doing every ending and then have a bucket version of that ending, so that you've got tons of new endings. So that is all the praise. And of course, a humongous, a ridiculously deep bow to Kevan Brighting, who voiced the narrator, for sitting in a recording booth for hours on end, I imagine, to record every single line for every single possibility that you can work out in this game, because that has to have taken a ton of time. But I'm pretty sure that he has been enjoying himself doing it. I kind of... I mean, I don't know for sure, but the dialogue is superb, and I do feel like he had a great time working on it, so I'm happy for him for that. And like I said, the deepest bow to all the work he put in to record all of the stuff, and all of the little clever things that he put in, the little jokes, the little jabs at Stanley, the jabs at the player directly. Because, you know, the whole game revolves around your interaction with the narrator. And the way he talks about the game, the way he pretends to be stupid, sort of, and that it's like, he doesn't want to acknowledge that it's a game, even though he knows damn well that it's a game and that you're playing it and not Stanley. And, you know, the time where he talks to Stanley, the time where he talks directly to you behind the screen, where he addresses you and sort of like, the times he gets angry at you, the times he sort of likes you, the times he likes to hang around with you, the times he feels betrayed by you, the times he betrays you, the times where, you know, it's fantastic. And of course, you don't see him. You see him, like, the things he does, because he's the puppet master in control of everything. So it's, you know, you can see his actions, but you never see him. You never no idea what he looks like, if he even has a physical presence at all. No idea. So it all has to come from the voice. And Mr. Brighting did a fantastic job of portraying that narrator with his magnificent voice, which is a pleasure to listen to, by the way. And the way he portrays him, the way he plays him, the way he talks, the way how he makes him mysterious, and how he makes him evil, how he makes him likable, how he makes him sad, how he makes him, you know, all the emotions you feel when you listen to the narrator. It's fantastic. It all comes to the voice. You never see him. You only see sometimes when he pulls up a wall, like, how you're in my story now. The way he said that in that apartment ending, the roll of the letters there. Or I don't know the official word for that. Like, you're in my story now. So like that's where you, like, it rolls a bit or whatever. I don't know how you call it, but it really, like, it feels a bit, ooh, you know. Perfect. Absolutely. Hats off. Deepest bow to the voice actor Kevan Brighting for voicing that narrator to absolute perfection. So that is all the praise that I think I have to give to the game, but a bit of some critique, a little bit. Call me spoiled, but I was kind of expecting a few more completely different endings. Again, call me spoiled. I'm sorry, but I was kind of expecting a few more completely different. And I really like I said, I really like the idea with the buckets, where you can just take every normal ending and have a bucket version of that ending, which is very, like I said, a very clever way of making less work for yourself. Because otherwise you have to otherwise, if you want to add as many different endings as you had right now with all the without doing that with the bucket, you would have to essentially build an entire game on top of this. So again, call me spoiled, but I was expecting a few more completely different endings. You know, I really like the new ones. I do still consider the skip button a sort of ending, even though it's not part of walking through the office. It's walking through the memory zone. But yeah, I do like the completely new ones, the vents, the up and down, and the dropping down into the mind control area, because those were things. Well, that vent wasn't, but the other two were things that you could do. You know, you could glitch out, and like he said, like the narrator said himself, it was a bug in the original game, and now they turned it into an actual ending, dropping down into the mind control facility, and also the what's the other new one? You've got the dropping mind control, the vent, and what else? Oh yeah, up and down, yeah. Making you go back up on the lifts, you know, like what if I go back up with the lift, see what's there? Like they turned it into a joke at first, but then it turns out into an actual ending. You know, that again, something you couldn't do, but you know, like maybe there were some questions about people like, oh, what if you go back up on that lift? What happens then? Sort of like how you walk into the boss's office and then back out, and then you track all the way back to the escape pod. Sort of like that, like, oh, what if I go back and see what happens there? So, you know, I do like those endings because they're completely new. And of course, the bucket one's a clever thing. And also I do like that sign with the no bucket, and then you get to that game show where he tries to teach you what a bucket is. I read it because those were completely new, but I kind of wish there was like a few more. Again, call me spoiled, call me needy. I'm sorry, but I was kind of hoping for a few more actual completely new different endings, like a completely different door somewhere that you could go into, or you know, like in the staircase where you go to the boss's office, suddenly there's an extra door there or something where you can go with an entirely new section with one or two new endings there. Or when you go down the stairs for the insanity ending, maybe there's a way to escape it or something. Or maybe there is actually a way to escape the countdown when you try to activate the mind control machine. If you do everything in a perfect, correct order or something, and maybe then a door does actually open somewhere, you escape, and then the narrator is like, hang on a minute, that wasn't supposed to happen or something. Or like I said, a completely different door, a completely different hallway that takes to a completely different section. I really, really hope that there was something like there, like something more, or something like more distinct, I guess is the right word for that. Because those other ones, although I like them, the vent and the other one, they're very subtle. And of course, the bottom of the mind control is just a fix for something that was a flaw in the original one, and then they made a bucket version for it too. That vent was just clever, and the up and down was also just like clever. Like, oh, what if I go back up? Like, you know, but just a random door, maybe just a random door somewhere that you open, because there are tons of doors that don't work, you know. So would it be that hard to open one somewhere or add a new one somewhere? And if you end up in there, just one or two endings, and then you can also have a bucket version of that. I was kind of hoping for that, like a bit more of a distinct new feature, because the game is mostly intact. You know, it's pretty much, you don't even have to play the original Stanley Parable anymore, the 2013 version, only for the serious ending, because you can't do it in this game anymore. Unless you open the console with a different button on this game. Who knows? So yeah, that's a bit more distinct endings, a bit more distinct routes. A couple, like, completely new routes. Like, ridiculously uncharted, unexplored territory. It doesn't have to be, like, ridiculous, like, huge part of the level extra, but just a few here and there. With only one ending or there. Or two for one normal one for the buckets, you know? Something like that, but just a bit of unexplored territory. I really was kind of like hoping for a bit more of that. Because even though there was some unexplored territory with, for example, the confusion ending with the bucket, where you get that bucket destroyer machine, that all the entire area you walk through is completely new. But, you know, it's the path to it is all the same, just like in 2013. So I was kind of hoping for a bit more change or a bit more difference in that regard. A different door, a different choice to make, a different way to ignore the narrator or whatever, you know? Like, a bit like that. Yeah. Again, call me needy, call me spoiled, but I was kind of hoping for a bit of that. So, but okay, I still love the game altogether. So, you know, it's not like I hate it or something because like, but because all the other, there was so much fun stuff in here that more than makes up for it. But, you know, still like, and another thing is I kind of wish that they did a bit more with, well, not really that they could have done too much with it, but did a bit more with the other Expo stuff, because this game is essentially everything that they showed at the Expo Center fused into the game to make the sequel, which you see because you see the balloons that you choose, the balloons that you didn't choose. Actually, you find the bucket, you find the collectibles. So you know everything that you choose in that Expo or see in that Expo Center is here, except for the Infinite Hole, the broken machine broken achievement machine. And that's it, right? Yeah, Epilogue. Yeah, well, Epilogue is in a different part of the game. And yeah, there wasn't really anything else. Oh yeah, the button that says gym. Yeah, but I really would have loved it if there was an ending with those, maybe, or that you can find them somewhere. That you can just see the button named gym in a random office somewhere, or that you can, you know, that you suddenly walk through a certain ending and all of a sudden the button is there, even though it was never there before. You know, so I do wonder why those things were not in this actual game, because they were in the Expo Center, and all the other things of the Expo Center are in here: the balloons, the figurines, you know, the buckets, of course. So why weren't those other parts of the Expo Center in the game as possible endings, or, you know, like, or it could have been very easy to just, or maybe a bit lazy to add the gym button in the countdown ending, because there are tons of buttons there, so you could have easily replaced one with the gym button. Again, it's a bit of a lazy way out, but, you know, like, I do wonder why they never used any of those features that they showed in the Expo Center in the actual game, even though they used the other features, the balloons and the figurines and the bucket and stuff, but they didn't use the hole, they didn't use the broken achievement machine. Like, you could make an ending with that. You could just pop it in a random office at some point that you walk past and you all of a sudden see that button, or all of a sudden you see the machine, all of a sudden there's a massive hole there. Or you could make a proper ending with all of those. Combine that with what I said earlier about some more distinct routes to go, more exploration. Really weird. Yeah, it's a bit weird that they only used half of the Expo Center of the content in there. You could, or like I said, you could just use them like the balloons as a random thing, you know, like you could just pop them in a random, like in that, yeah, you know, like you walk past an office and all of a sudden the broken test achievement machine is standing there, even though it was never standing there before. You're like, huh, what the hell? And then, okay, you don't have to make an ending with it if you don't want to, but you could just But the fact that you can see it from time to time would be really cool. Kind of like how you see the adventure line from time to time when you did the confusion and you see the adventure line all of a sudden running through parts of the building where the adventure line never was. Speaking of the adventure line, I really wish there was more with the adventure line. I really wish there was another ending with it. Or, well, yeah, just another ending, just another section with it or whatever. Maybe you can only trigger it if you do the confusion ending first. And all of a sudden you try to play the game normally, and all of a sudden the adventure line is there again. Or if you go to a new section to the game where you've never been to, like what I said earlier, like a new direction, all of a sudden the adventure line would be there. That would be really cool. But unfortunately, we never saw that much extra of the adventure line. A very tiny little bit extra in the confusion ending with the buckets, where it just led you to the bucket destroyer. But yeah, I really wished there was a bit more adventure line in here. But that's, I guess that's just because I thought the confusion ending was the best ending in my mind of the original Stanley Parable 2013. Other than the game's ending where you play Minecraft and Portal, but I thought the confusion ending was my favorite. Yeah, so yeah, that's, I guess, maybe my wishful thinking, that I hope that they would do a bit more with the adventure line in the end, but they didn't. But okay, whatever. So yeah, those were my only points of critique of the game. Again, bit needy, bit spoiled, whatever you want to call it. But like, I was hoping for a bit more distinct endings, or like that. Kind of just a bit of an observation, not really a critique necessarily, but that it's kind of weird that they only used half of the Expo stuff, the balloons, the buckets, and the balloons, the buckets, and what else? Something else. Collectibles, yeah, of course. The balloons, the bucket, and collectibles. But they didn't use the hole. They didn't use the button says gym. They didn't use the jump circle, but that's okay, by the way. But that is only in the Expo stuff. But they didn't use the infinite hole. They didn't use the broken test achievement machine, which again I can also sort of understand. But again, like, why he never mentioned him? I thought it was a bit weird. Not necessarily critique. I just thought it was a bit of an observation that I thought it was a bit weird. So that, and I was hoping for more adventure line, but alas. Anyway, those critiques aside, they should not take away from the fact that I do really think that this is a fantastic game. I do really think that they improved upon it. They made a lot more stuff, a lot more funny stuff, and a lot more traumatizing stuff with the skip button, which is by far my favorite ending in the game so far. So yeah, I don't know, maybe they're planning to add more stuff. I have no idea what their plans are for this game, if they are actually planning on doing new stuff or not. Maybe there will be an update. Well, I saw some update, but that was mostly like some bug fixes or some compatibility issue fixes or whatever. But I don't know, maybe there will be some stuff. I have no idea what their plans are for the rest of the Stanley Parable. Anyway, that is it for my playthrough of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, if you've watched all the episodes, I was about to say play the game for yourself, but if you've watched everything, then you've already seen everything that happens. But who knows? Maybe you can find something. But still, I do suggest you play the game. It's a lot of fun. The interaction with the narrator, it's something you never see in any other game, which is completely unique to the Stanley Parable. It's its main selling point, and it is executed astronomically well. It is fantastic. It's enjoyable. It's great. I do love this game. It has a very warm place in my heart as one of the funniest games I've ever played. It's great. It's just great. Anyway, that is it for the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be. Oh yeah, never mind, I do, because I was doing Doki Doki Literature Club before I was doing this. So I'm gonna go back to Doki Doki Literature Club. I already recorded a whole bunch of episodes for the new mod that I was gonna try out, that I was gonna play. But then the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe came out, so I put Doki Doki on hold and did this. But now this is done, so we're back on to Doki Doki Literature Club next week. I'm guessing this will be on a Thursday. So next week, Tuesday, Doki Doki something. I don't know. You'll have to see for yourself. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click the like button beneath the video. Subscribe to join the Ramen Army. And I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you in the next video. Buy this game, by the way. Valete!